So, following the beat of my own drum, I'm just a normal, down to earth person who talks to dead people and predicts the future for a living. I didn't know I was to become a professional seer, but I always saw things that other people did not. I recall at the age of 4 looking up at the stars and feeling as though I was from another planet. In my early teens, I studied astrology and all things paranormal. I drifted from group to group, trying to figure out where I belonged. While briefly living in Massachusetts, I drove to Salem to see if past life memories of being a witch burned at the stake would flood into my consciousness, but they did not. In 1979, I took a course called the Silva Mind Control Workshop. On the last day of the workshop, we paired up and we gave our partner the name of a friend or relative that we didn't know. That they didn't know, rather. And when I was given the name to tune into, I literally felt this beam of light coming out of my forehead, and it went up and down the skeleton of the person whose name they gave me. And it was going beep, 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 and it finally stopped on the person's knee. So I called out to the guy, injury to his left knee. I was really excited when he said yes. I was drawn to other areas that were also accurate. In my head, I asked to see what the person looked like, and I saw freckles. When my partner confirmed the freckles, I then saw the person's image, and again, I was right on. I wanted to know their emotions, their thoughts, everything I could about the person. I was fed a few more names, and I was right on the mark. I spent all my free time practicing my ability on anyone who would let me, which was even total strangers. I was finally passionate about something. I quit my day job and I started working the psychic fairs. But I also spent a lot of time getting high with rock musicians, and I entertained them by talking to their dead friends and family members. I was their entertainment. Because of my partying, I couldn't afford to continue my own business. So after 2 years, I had to put my psychic career to the side, went to work for an oil and gas company where I met my now third ex-husband, got sober, and bore his 3 children. After our first kid was born, he became a born-again Christian. Not a great combination with a psychic. He did tell me I was doing the devil's work and I was certain to go to hell. Getting his love and approval was more important than my career, so I kind of put it on the back burner. Flash forward to my brutal divorce. My ex hid all our assets, and I had to file a $7 million bankruptcy. I struggled to support my 3 children. I tried several different things, but the universe had a different plan for me. A few weeks into my new career selling limited partnerships, I woke up with Bell's palsy. My 5-year-old son took one look at me and he cried, "Mommy, are you going to die?" And I responded with the slur, "No one ever died from an ugly face." The right side of my face was completely numb, and my neck, and half my tongue. And I looked like I had a stroke. I looked like Dr. Sardonicus, for those of you who know what that is. It's like really creepy. Anyway, I had to tape my eyes shut and wear a patch because it wouldn't stay closed on its own. A few weeks later, when I was healed, I was back at my desk. I hated my job, but I still couldn't figure out my career path. I did get calls through readings through the years, and occasionally I still did them for free for friends. Then the Northridge quake left me jobless and in a badly damaged home. I was now on unemployment and looking for a new place to live, but no one in Los Angeles wanted to rent to an unemployed woman with a bankruptcy and no child support, so I began looking out of state. It became clear to me that Phoenix, Arizona was the answer. My kids and I took a trip there, and sure enough, we were able to rent an apartment. It seemed clear that my path was to go back to being a full-time psychic medium, but I was still resisting because I was afraid there was no way I was going to support my kids off the income, tuning into dead people and predicting the future. So my mom was mad at me. She thought I was running away by leaving Los Angeles, and I tried to explain to her, if I don't move, I'm going to end up homeless. As I backed my 26-foot moving van out of the driveway, my dad said to me, "I'm so proud of you, Carrie." Oops, where am I here? I was leaving family and friends behind. Cell phones and landlines were costly. The internet was just being developed, so I wasn't able to keep up communication with my LA support group. My landline was unlisted to keep my sociopathic ex from finding me and the kids. My mom didn't speak to me for several weeks. I struggled financially, and at times I had $5 to my name, and I had to figure out how to feed my 3 kids and how to get enough gas in the car to drive to a psychic fair to work and build a client base. It took 4 years until I finally got a break. I got on a popular morning drive radio show taking call-ins, and before I went on the air, I went into the bathroom and I prayed. I prayed to God to get me out of ego and allow me to be of service. I was able to accurately describe what every caller looked like and the looks and personalities of the people they had questions about before I told them the future so that they'd know I was legitimate. That show brought me a huge client base and other radio and TV opportunities. I have volunteered my time to an organization for the parents of murdered children. For those parents, the last call they got was from the police saying their kid was murdered. I describe in detail memories that they know I possibly couldn't know. I leave them with good memories, often with humor, so they know that their loved ones are at peace. I have worked on several murder cases and missing person cases. In one case, a woman called about her missing boyfriend. I could see and feel that he was deceased and in an area at a lake. I asked her if he owned a gun. She called me a few days later to confirm he was found at Lake Pleasant and he had killed himself with a gun. I get calls regarding health issues, animals, reading the future, talking to the dead, finding missing people and items, and I teach a psychic workshop. My clients say I'm like a psychic therapist. I can tell them about the good stuff that's coming on the other side of a tough segment, and I give them the tools to help them get through it, giving them a sense of peace. This has been my full-time work for 23 years. I have clients worldwide. I also read by phone and Skype. This career has put a damper on my love life, though. Who wants to date someone who they think can read their mind, you know? I make it a point to tell them I am just a mere mortal and I have to date like everyone else, trusting my gut. Though I do pick up on shit, but I don't tell them. Gives me the upper hand. My kids took crap from some of the teachers and parents of a few schoolmates when they heard their mother was a psychic. One mother actually called me and told me she didn't want her daughter at my home. I had to explain to her I'm not a witch, nor do I impose my beliefs on others. Do I run the risk of being single and getting weird looks from people for the rest of my life? And a lot of eye rolls, by the way. I know that when I leave this world, I have made a positive difference in the lives of my clients. Was it worth the ridicule and risk? Absolutely. Thanks.